Welcome back to Temporal Star Chronicle, your weekly journey through the world of Star Trek. This week, we'll remember the actor Harris Yulin, talk about the frustration over the international streaming delays, and look ahead to what's next in Trek comics, games, and TV shows. Whether you're here for updates, some game nights, or just one quiet moment on Deep Space Nine, you're in the right place. So, let's dive in. Just weeks after we said goodbye to a legendary Trek author, Peter David, the Star Trek fans and community now mourns another profound loss. Harris Yulin, the veteran actor behind one of the Star Trek's most haunting performances, has passed away. Known to the general audiences more from his work in Scarface, Ozark, and Frasier, Yulin is immortalized in Trek history for his unforgettable portrayal of Marritza in Deep Space Nine's landmark episode, Duet. In a single appearance, he gave a performance that still echoes through the fandom. He was playing a Cardassian clerk masquerading as a war criminal. And in that portrayal, Yulin forced his character and subsequently the audience to confront some weighty moral questions like guilt, justice, accountability. His scenes opposite Nana Visitor's Major Kira remain among some of the most raw and emotionally complex moments in entire canon. This wasn't just a great episode, it was a masterclass in acting, and Harris Yulin was the master. Nana Visitor called their scenes in Duet sacred and unforgettable, a moment in Trek history that she'll always hold close. Fans all over the social media, Reddit, echoed her words, sharing stories of watching the episode for the first time and being stunned into silence. That's the thing. We don't just remember Harris Yulin because he appeared in Star Trek. We remember him because he elevated it. According to his family, Harris Yulin passed from cardiac arrest on June 10th in New York City. He was 87 years old. He had recently completed work on the MGM Plus comedy American Classic, still looking forward, still creating. He remained devoted to his craft until the very end. Now, episodes like Duet show a glimpse of what Star Trek can accomplish. And Yulin's performance is at the heart of it. It's not easy to rewatch this episode. It shouldn't be. But it's necessary. So tonight, or sometimes in coming weeks, many of us will return to Deep Space Nine. We'll queue up Duet, and we'll be reminded again how one extraordinary actor gave us one unforgettable story. So, farewell, Harris Yulin. Now, we'll be moving from honoring an unforgettable performance and an amazing talent and actor to a frustrating situation for fans. We will be talking about the confusion and the anger over the international streaming delays and silent edits, and why that's not a good thing. When Paramount Plus announced the Strange New Worlds Season 3 release on July 17th for US and Canada, worldwide Trek fans like me took a collective breath and braced for impact. Why? Because international viewers know the pain of regional delays all too well. So, when a press release pegged SkyShowtime's European launch to September 12th, the internet kinda exploded. We got Reddit lit up, Twitter fumed, fan forums raged. It hit a nerve. Look, a franchise built on unity and shared futures, still leaving international fans dodging spoilers for weeks. But wait, here's the twist. The dreaded September 12th date? Wrong. Sources from Trek Central and El País confirmed the actual release is August 4th in SkyShowtime territories like Spain, the Nordics, and Central Europe. So, supposed 2-month delay? It seems more like a 2-week hiccup. Better? Yeah. Still frustrating. And the handling? Yeah, that's the actual core problem. So, StarTrek.com published the wrong date and then corrected it with stealth edits. No retraction, no clarification, just a quiet fix. Look, everyone makes mistakes, but trusting the official outlets, that needs transparency, and that's the core issue. We all know global streaming is still a fragmented mess. Paramount Plus is no Netflix. If you can't offer worldwide simulcasts, then at least communicate that clearly and early. Fans deserve better than mystery dates and silent corrections. Now, on a fun side. Well, I hope it's gonna be a fun side. I'll be doing weekly reviews for each Strange New Worlds episode starting August 4th, right after the SkyShowtime release. So, if you're watching from Europe, stay tuned. Meanwhile, got any good spoiler dodging tips? Drop them in the comments. Let's protect each other from unnecessary red alerts. I told you I like puns. Get used to it. Streaming frustrations aside, there's even bigger news about Strange New Worlds. And that's that its final season is shorter than expected. So, we're here. The Enterprise is charting its final course. Strange New Worlds will end with just 6 episodes in its 5th and final season. For a series that's become a fan favorite for live shows in New Trek era, this kind of shortened farewell raises a lot of questions. Let's be real. 6 episodes? That's barely enough time to finish a meal in 10 forward. Let alone finish all the arcs of Pike and Spock and Chappelle and all the rest of the characters. Look, I'm an old grumpy Trekkie. For longtime fans like me who were raised on 20+ episode seasons, this kind of feels like speed running the legacy. Still, maybe it's a bold narrative move. The shift from 10 episodes to 6 suggests a tightly focused season, so expect spotlight arcs on Captain Pike's fate, the emotional fallout for Spock and Chappelle, and of course, the looming threat of the Gorn. Although I'm not quite sure what they're going to do with them anymore. Showrunner Akiva Goldsman called it a elegant and focused promising no filler, just punch. But here's the cost. Condensed seasons often push the ensemble characters into the background, like Luan, Mabenga, and Ortega's may end up kinda shortchanged. Then again, with Season 4, we might get some storylines that may resolve early, so we are clearing the deck for an emotional finale. Now, rumors from various Trek sites like Trek BBS and Reddit point to the usual culprits. We have budgets shifting to Starfleet Academy, tight production lines, and some actor contracts. But let's be real, something bigger might be happening in the Trekverse. Now, according to the Tachyon Pulse podcast, and these are very unconfirmed rumors, just to be clear, Secret Hideout's production deal with Paramount Plus may be ending and not renewed under the new ownership. Skydance Media, who is supposed to be acquiring Paramount Plus, might be closing the door on their partnership. If that's true, and we've tracked this before, it makes sense for Strange New Worlds to have 5 clean seasons. It also explains why Starfleet Academy hasn't committed beyond 2. Secret Hideout might simply be finishing what's in the pipeline before making their quiet exit. Now, again, there's no official word yet, but timing kinda checks out, and the impact on Star Trek's streaming future could be huge. For OG Trekkies like me, this new Trek era, short seasons, heavy prequels, kinda still feels off, I gotta be honest. Star Trek kinda thrives in long format. We need room to know these characters, to wrestle with moral questions, to remember that part, boldly explore. So a 6-episode finale feels like more of a cheat code, and not in a good way. And please, for the love of God, don't end with Kirk sliding into the captain's chair like it's the destiny we all wanted. We didn't. Well, at least I don't. I would like to see closure for Pike. Not a baton toss to a story I already know. So, Strange New Worlds was fun. Not flawless, but fun. And, that counts. So here's hoping for the finale, I don't know, 10 years from now? I'm kidding, a few years from now, to land like a pro. I would like to see a clean end, a story final log, and something we can actually rewatch without groaning every 5 seconds about canon. You know what? Until then, let's savor what we got. With Strange New Worlds ending on screen, let's look at how the story continues on the page. IDW's multiverse spanning comic event is also coming to a close. On June 19th, IDW Publishing drops Star Trek Omega Issue 1, a 40-page beast that marks the end of the ambitious, experimental, and oftentimes mind-bending era for Star Trek comics. For 2 years, IDW's interconnected Trekverse has brought together Star Trek, Defiant, Day of Blood, and even holiday horrors, which, by the way, I just found out about today. Really? Halloween, anyone? Into a kind of a bold reinvention of Trek's printed frontier. I know, all of it sounds super dramatic, but now, well, the arc ends, but the evolution begins. Written by Christopher Cantwell, Colin Kelly, and Jackson Lansing, and backed by a killer roster of artists, Omega isn't a filler, it's a capstone. It's a closing chapter that is going to unite the crew of Theseus, Defiant, and Enterprise to mend a timeline shattered by lore. And brace for what's next, the Lore War. Looking for a canon-tight storytelling? This isn't that. And that's exactly the point. Since day one of the show, people have side-eyed IDW's work. I heard everything from it's not canon to it's too weird, and I even had a guy tell me to burn in hell for talking about comic book. Always a treat. Look, I did offer him a cup of Earl Grey. Decaf. For the blood pressure. The shows should keep the canon. The comics? Let them go where no one has gone before. Look, I always look at the comics as a canon adjacent, loyal to Trek spirit, but unafraid to kind of color outside the lines. Omega is the proof. It's introspective, it's epic, it's full of emotional gut punches and timeline chaos, and it does set the stage for something even bolder. The Lore War. And here's a special treat. If you're a collector, variant covers are amazing. Each one is literally poster worthy. Now, if you're wondering where to start, here are some of the essentials. So we have mainline series, the Defiant series, and some bonus reads. When it comes to the mainline series, you should definitely check out Star Trek issues 1 to 12, which are Theseus arc and the Minion events. Also, you should check out Star Trek Annual 2023. When it comes to the Defiant series, we have Defiant 1 to 12, which is Worf Sela Thread, and we have Day of Blood crossover parts 1 to 5. Also, some of the bonus reads. We have Star Trek Celebrations and the one that I just mentioned, Halloween. Yes, that's real. And I have just bought it. So, it all leads to Omega. But you know what got me truly hyped? After Omega, IDW launches Voyager Homecoming this September. Yep, finally. And if you've ever listened to the show, you know there's no episode where I don't bring up Voyager. The most orphaned series in official Trek media is finally getting the treatment it deserves. So, give me 7, give me Janeway, give me post-endgame weirdness. Make it emotional, make it messy, make it matter. Comics do what the shows can't, or won't. Marvel had its House of M, Trek gets its Lore War. And we get Homecoming, and Seeds of Destruction, and Red Shirts. It's fun time. So, if you've been on the fence about IDW's Trek run, now's the moment to jump in. Catch up, get ready, embrace the multiverse. Omega number 1 is the exhale before everything explodes again. And I'm so here for it. Now let's move from printed panels to digital missions. We will beam over to Star Trek Online's newest patch and how it's fixing the fan experience. Deca Games continues fine-tuning their course with Star Trek Online, and their June 10th patch is delivering a welcome bundle of mission fixes and long-awaited bug squashes. I know, I had to do this. Top of the list, the hunt for Gaul. Players can now finally defeat the elusive Gaul during the takedown mission. No more stuck progression. Gaul is officially going down. In the Devil's Heart TFO, a nasty teleportation bug has been resolved. Players should no longer get trapped in the kidnap room minigame. And over in All That Matters, those annoying audio stutters during the Proto-Matter device sequence patched. Immersion restored. Now for the long-suffering 15th anniversary bundle owners, Deck has finally addressed the dilithium destructor charge issue. They're offering an ultimate tech upgrade token as compensation. And according to some of the feedback I've seen, it was mostly positive. Players see it kind of a fair trade. Look, honestly, Deca's still finding their rhythm after taking over from Cryptic, but we should give them credit where it's due. They're listening, they're patching fast, and they're clearly trying. So sure, communication has its hiccups, but these quality of life upgrades show that SDO's new custodians are really taking their job seriously. So, props Deca, good job. Now, before we move on from this segment, as I was filming and editing this episode, I got the news and I found out that there are more ships with bugs, like Protostar and I think Dauntless. I'm not quite sure. I have to check it out. So I'll be updating you on those issues sometime next week. Look, fixes are great, but if you prefer rolling dice and building stories, there's a new tabletop manual that might be perfect for you. Let's shift gears, literally, with a new release from Modiphius for Star Trek Adventures, the tabletop RPG that lets you boldly replay in Trek universe. Now, full transparency before I dive in, I haven't played this game yet. But in the spirit of covering every strange new corner of the Trek galaxy, this kind of caught my eye. Now, the technical manual is going to be out this June. That is a 129-page hardcover, PDF included for pre-orders, packed with gear specs, deep lore, and rule tweaks to upgrade your Federation campaigns. So, what is Star Trek Adventures? It's a narrative-first RPG where you step into the boots of Starfleet officers, away team explorers, or bridge crew. The 2D20 system blends character choices with crunchy dice rolls. Kind of like improv meets stat-based mission planning. This new technical manual is a part of the second edition source books, and it's for GMs and players who want more tactile sci-fi immersion. And inside you'll find gear deep dives, tricorders, replicators, transporters, 10 new career events to customize character backstories. You also get 16 new starship talents to trick out your ship, expanded service records for continuity, notes on next-gen propulsion like spore drives and slipstream tech, entries on medical tools, cybernetic implants. Even Pike's infamous chair makes a cameo. But the real buzz? Complication tables. More than 20 of them, designed to inject chaos into your clean Federation plans. A transporter buffer arrow mid-beam? Roll for it. A sabotage replicator during the tense dinner? There's a table for that too. As one Redditor put it, rolling complication is a great way to throw a wrench into any plan. And Reddit's RPG forums are kind of fired up between deployable mines, enhanced ship modding, and tools to fuel flexible storytelling. This isn't just a rulebook for grinders. It's designed to deepen Trek stories through the tech. So, if you're thinking about taking Star Trek from screen to tabletop, this kind of looks like a solid expansion. Whether you're a seasoned GM or Trek curious, Gears of the Federation might just be the upgrade you've been looking for. And for the game night fans, a new Trek deck builder brings captains, strategy, and some surprise matchups right to your table. So let's check this one out. Alright, here's another one I haven't played yet. But in the spirit of expanding our scope, like I just said, into more corners of the Trek gaming galaxy, let's talk about Star Trek's Captain's Chair to Boldly Go, which is the new standalone deck building game from WizKids. Released for 1 to 2 players, the Boldly Go features over 250 cards and is designed for strategic play sessions running 60 to 120 minutes. So it's not your casual work through a hand type of deck builder. It's beefy, it's tactical, and it's clearly built with depth in mind. Designed by David Turczi and Nigel Buckle, the minds behind the Imperium and Voidfall, this game builds on the original Captain's Chair mechanics, but with key distinctions. First, it's a complete standalone experience, so you don't need the base game to play, though they're working on compatibility. Allegedly. And the captain choices? Oh, they're absolutely delightful, Trek core and Trek curious. So we have James T. Kirk, classic playstyle with the diplomacy focus. We have Khan Noonien Singh. Yes, that Khan brings aggressive tactics. Captain Giorgio, tactical versatility and alternative solutions. And we have our Rebner, who is a rogue Pakled captain with unexpected tricks. Yeah, Pakled. We're doing it. So community reactions that I could see so far suggest this isn't just a reskin. It is a serious asymmetrical engine builder with deep replay value and some layered decision makings. Future expansions like Second Contact are already scheduled for December, hinting at more captains, new abilities, and plenty more chaos. As someone who has not been sitting in Captain's Chair yet, look, I'm intrigued. Deck builders aren't new, but this kind of new lore-rich asymmetric take in Trek universe, that's got some potential. So, if you have played To Boldly Go, hit the comments. I want to know what worked, what was fun, and what confused you. And if you're like me, curious from the sidelines, maybe this is the one to finally try. Let's find out what commanding a deck in Starfleet or among the Pakleds really feel like. And that's it. That wraps up this week's show. From honoring Harris Yulin to new comics and game updates, Trek continues to surprise us. Sometimes in the good ways, sometimes not so much. Honestly, what I love about weeks like this is how broad Trek really is. You know, it's a show, it's a story, it's a game, and a feeling. It's the past and the future, and it kind of keeps connecting us. So thank you for being here, whether you're listening from Earth, Kronos, or a quiet cafe on Bajor. You make this show matter. So stay curious like you, brave like a Klingon, logical like a Vulcan, and never stop looking at the stars. Because we're Trekkies, and that's what we do.